This is a continuation of what we have already started in a summary of Act 1. This is Act 2 of Arms and Human that has been written by Bernard Shaw. This brief summary with shedding light on certain important critical points in the play is presented by me, Dr. Marwa Ghazi Mohammed from the College of Education for Women, University of Baghdad. This act, we can say, the typical title will be, or let's say a suggested title, The Reality of Peace and the Mask of Romance. The setting would be the garden of Major Petkov's house, Bulgaria. The date, March 6, 1886, which means that we have more than 3 months have passed since Act 1. A fine spring morning after the war has ended. The act begins with a certain conversation between Nicola and Luca, the maid and the old servant. And this is the first time we meet Nicola. And it's the scene between them best described as the philosophy of servitude. Here we have Nicola versus Luca. The act opens with a clash between the two servants. Nicola embodies the soul of a servant, which is described by Luca actually. Valuing service destruction as the secret to success and the future independence. This is what he thinks. While Luca's defiance, Luca refuses to adopt this mindest, openly defying the mistress and claiming she possesses family secrets that give her power. And at the same time, Nicola is warning her about the social power. Nicola warns her that high people have immense power to ruin those who rise against them, highlighting the right class structure of the time. And by this, the whole scene between Nicola and Luca sheds light on classicism at the end of 19th century, which Shaw himself regarded as one of the social diseases that he needs to reform. The next thing, we have the return of Major Petkov, a barbarian at the heart, as his wife described him. Major Petkov returns from the war appearing as an unpolished man, more concerned with his income and local importance than military goal. Actually, the whole scene between him and Catherine is just like the comedy of civilization, in which each one of them is defending their point of view. The Petkovs struggle with the Western refinements. Petkov mocks the disgusting English habit of daily washing, believing it is unnatural and causes sore throats. Symbols of status. Catherine takes pride in a new electric bell and their private library, using them as markers of being civilized people who do not shout for servant. And this was always the excuse that they are civilized people, actually, while they are imitating as much as they could the aristocratic. Sergius' disillusionment, the resignation from the army. Here in this act, we met Sergius. Sergius, who was an offstage character in Act 1, now he came back from the war, and he announces that he has resigned. Despite his heroic charge, Sergius resigns because he was not promoted. He realizes that scientific warfare rewards etiquette over the bravery. This is what he thinks. Soldiering as a trade. He sardonically defines soldiering as the coward art of attacking only when strong, avoiding harm when weak. And this was one of the, let's say, masterpieces quotation in the whole play, to be announced by Sergius himself, the one who joined the war, holding, let's say, the idealistic view of war, and now he's the one who has defined it as a coward art. It's very important. Byronism. Sergius is described as the Byronic hero, suffering from Byronism, a cynical scorn for word that fails to meet his lofty and poetic ideals. A funny story, The Coat and the Fugitive. We have Petkov and Sergius recount a story They heard at the camp about a Swiss soldier who escaped by hiding in a lady bedroom and leaving in the master old coat. The irony was they are completely unaware, Sergius and Petkov, that the lady was Raina and the house was their own. Raina's reactions upon hearing the story, Raina is privately furious, calling the soldier a little beast for telling their secret. The performance of higher love. When everyone left, except Sergius and Raina, we have this scene. Idealized romance. When Raina and Sergius meet, they adopt a theatrical, poetic tone. Raina calls him her hero and king, while he calls her his saint and the queen. The higher love. They claim to have found a love so pure that it forbids base deeds or ignoble thoughts. Inspiration. Sergius claims he went through the war like a knight in a tournament, with Raina image as his inspiration. The irony is that the performance of higher love, this scene, is going to be followed by another scene between Sergius and Luca, in which we have Sergius who needs a relief. He said, a need for relief. As soon as Raina leaves, Sergius' higher love proves fatiguing. He immediately begins flirting with Luca, showing his predatory side, multiple personalities. Sergius muses on the half dozen Sergiuses within him, the hero, the buffoon, the humbug, and the back god, struggling to know which is the real one. Here we have Sergius revealing his inner conflict, revealing the many characters he has inside, only to Luca, not to Raina. The reveal. Luca taunts him, revealing that Raina is also trifling with another man, and she means the fugitive, behind his back. Chocolate Cream Soldier's arrival. Actually, the almost Act 2 ends by the arrival of Captain Bluntschli. The return of the fugitive, Captain Bluntschli arrives at the house to return the borrowed coat. This was his excuse. The slip up, when Raina sees him, she impulsively cries out, "Oh, chocolate cream soldier." Quick thinking, Catherine and Raina desperately tried to cover the slip up by claiming she was talking about a damaged pastry ornament for an ice pudding. The guest, despite Catherine's efforts to send him away, Petkov and Sergius insist he stay to help them with the military logistics, officially bringing the enemy into the family circle. And this was, the end of Act 2, where some of the things are going to have been revealed. Thanks a lot for your listening. I hope that is going to help you in having a good idea about what we have in Act 2 of Arms and Demand.